And so now I invite Catherine Wiley to speak to us. She's the founder of the Catholic Grandparents Association and has done tremendous work over the years in terms of bringing all of these celebratory days together. So Catherine, I invite you now, please.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. And what an afternoon it is. I know that many of you could be in Croke Park today, but we're very grateful that you're here with us in Knock on this very special feast day of St. Joachim and St. the parents of Mary and the grandparents of Jesus. It's a privilege to stand here. It's an honor to stand here and be with you today to thank you, each and every one of you, for everything you do for your families, for your children, for the Church, and for the Catholic Grandparents Association, because without you, we wouldn't exist. It's a pleasure and a privilege to thank Archbishop Eamon Martin, the Primate of all Ireland, for his inspiring leadership to us. To thank Archbishop Francis Duffy, our patron, for his faithful and encouraging support. To thank Bishop Dennis Nulty for his constant kindness and readiness to help us. And to Father Richard Gibbons, whose vision and dedication make it possible for us to gather in this beautiful basilica today. And again, what a privilege and an honor it is to share this day. This day for grandparents and elderly has been celebrated in every church all across the world. Today, grandparents everywhere are praying for one another. And thank you for all the people who readily came out and helped with the procession. As I said, you're praying for them in their countries, and they're praying for you today. So what you did was a great blessing, and thank you. Now, for 25 years, we've been coming here to Knock, every single year, gathering here, praying for something, and here we are again. Today, up in Croke Park, people are praying for a cup you couldn't get a ticket for love or money. And yet, here we are already in Knock, and we have a golden ticket, freely available, but beyond price. We're praying for something far greater. We're praying for heaven, for our children, for our families, that we'll meet them again in heaven one day. And we're not only praying for something, we are praying to be something, to be the best grandparents we can possibly be, to be the compass that they need, to be steady, to be there for them when they need us. We know the world that they're growing up in, the media, the pressure, the temptation to do whatever you want, whenever you want, to have nobody to answer to. That is why we show our young people, we tell them and we show them our story, because we have the greatest story ever told. When they're on their phones, they're elsewhere. But when they're with us, we are fully present with them because we know the importance of time. That presence is a gift only grandparents can give. For 25 years, grandparents have prayed. They've prayed for things that seemed absolutely impossible. But we won, and everything I have to tell you that we have achieved has started here in Knock and come back to Knock. We won a voice, a platform, and grandparents' days in schools right across Ireland. We won the ear of John Paul II, whose holy relic was on our altar today. It was gifted to us from the Vatican. We have Pope Francis's prayer on the altar. He wrote that prayer and composed it for us. It only took 7 letters and a visit to Rome. I felt like I'd written more letters than St. Paul, but we got an answer. And then we had Pope Francis, who gave us the World Day for Grandparents and the Elderly. And now, under Pope Leo XIV, we're reaching for another goal, another great win, I hope, for the Catholic Grandparents Association, for the future of the association, and that's pontifical recognition. It means that we would be in the heart of the Church forever, really. So we need to pray for that. Please, if you would, take that prayer away with you today. We're now in over 60 different countries throughout the world, and as I said to you today, they're celebrating grandparents everywhere. But the real prize was never any of that. It was grandparents' love, time, and generosity poured into families who truly needed it, and they needed more today than ever. Today's gospel gave us the pearl of great price, the treasure worth selling everything for. In that pearl, what do we see? We see the faces of our grandchildren, and we see the traces of our ancestors. And the other parable, the little mustard seed, the smallest of all seeds, planted deep in the ground, that is us, small and ordinary. Who would ever have thought that such a small seed could grow this far? We plant, we water, we nourish, and then we wait, because the growing is not ours to control. I read a lovely thing from C.S. Lewis the other day. He said, we're like a seed, quietly waiting in the ground, waiting for the gardener's own time to bring us into flower. And we are God's gardeners. This is not the world that we grew up in, with mixed marriages and multi-faith, a church that feels less full, and grandparents are asked to bend, to bridge, to hold it all together. And one thing I always try and do, or encourage others to do, is to make the first move. Show it to them that we never bear grudges. When someone has been pushed to the edges, bring them back into the conversation. Humanize them. Show them the way, and don't be afraid. This is your role in the family. This is your vocation. This is you being Jesus in the family. Before this association, nobody was telling you how valued, how loved, and how needed you are. Well, here it is today. Hear it today. You are treasured. You are needed. You are the pillars that this church is built on, and you are the doors that are keeping our churches open. So love each other, take care of each other, cherish each other, and show that to your children and grandchildren. Grandparents, you are a master class in marriage and in relationships. And please, mind your health, because we need you. Mind your rest. You know, you cannot pour from an empty cup. God gave us longevity, not to be a burden, so we'd have more time with our grandchildren. This is the one job none of us ever wants to retire from. So take care of yourselves. Years ago, when this mission was young, I was seriously anxious, worried. And I remember asking Father Richard, what happens if this fails, if it doesn't work? And he said to me, Catherine, in this case, failure is simply not an option. And it's not. And Father Richard, thank you. I have an apron made for you with those words on them. I'll give it to you later. And I've carried them in my heart ever since, because this is our clarion call. We cannot fail. We are the faith's prayer warriors. People say the faith is waning in this country. Look around you. Feel the spirit here today. We love our families. We love our grandchildren. We love Jesus Christ. We love our faith, and we want to pass it on, and we will. We've carried 1,600 years of faith in this country since St. Patrick brought it down from us, not from Sinai, but from our own mountain, the Reek, Patrick. And we will not be the generation that fails to pass it on. Tell your children, tell your grandchildren, tell them that you pray for them every day. That matters more than you know, because someone, think of it, someone prayed for you all your life. Now it's your turn. This year's theme, I will never forget you. So grandparents, say that to your grandchildren every day. Tell that to your children. And know that Our Lady says the very same thing back to every one of you here today. Our Lady of Knock, you will never forget us, and we will never forget you. God bless you. May St. Joachim and St. Anne bless you, and I'll see you all again next year, and perhaps a bit more of us.